The message came in on a Tuesday morning. A photo, taken at an outdoor market, attached to a text from someone she had never met. "Hey, I think this is your boyfriend. He was here with a woman. Thought you should know." She looked at the photo for a long time. She had been seeing that face on video calls for 18 months. Always slightly pixelated. Always brief. Always ending with, "Bad connection, I have to go." But in this photo, he wasn't pixelated at all. He was 38 minutes from her apartment. $43,200. That's what she had transferred to him. Venmo. Cash App. 2 wire transfers. She had every record. But the most unbelievable detail wasn't the money. It was what she found when she looked up the company where he said he was working. And what she did next, he never saw it coming. Kira had spent 6 years building a career in logistics coordination. It's a job that requires you to track 100 moving pieces at once, stay calm under pressure, and never, ever, lose documentation. She was organized the way some people are organized by profession, not personality. She kept receipts. She kept records. She kept everything. She met Ethan at a work event 3 years earlier. He was specific in a way that felt genuine. He remembered what she said in conversations from weeks before. He showed up when he said he would. He was the kind of person who called when he said he'd call. By year 2, she had introduced him to her family. They had a shared savings goal. She had begun thinking, quietly, about what the next 5 years looked like. In January, he told her about the job. A 2-year contract with a tech company, overseas. The salary was $94,000, more than he had ever made. He said it would change everything. They'd have the foundation they'd been building toward. He'd come back with a resume that opened doors and money in the bank. She cried, a little. He told her it would go fast. She believed him. The first transfer went out in February. $2,400 for setup costs, a furnished apartment, a transit card, an international phone plan. His first paycheck would come in 30 days, he said. The company was slow with onboarding. Month 2, another $2,400. Onboarding was still being sorted. He was doing preliminary work but not yet on payroll. She told herself it was temporary. There was one thing she hadn't told anyone. Not yet. The video calls were always on his schedule. Never hers. He explained it as the time difference. He referenced a time zone that was, she would later work out, only 5 hours ahead. Not the 8 or 9 she'd imagined from the way he described his late working hours. She told herself tech company schedules were unpredictable. A care package came back unopened in month 4. He said he'd moved apartments and the forwarding hadn't been set up yet. She sent another. It also came back. He blamed customs. She sent a third. She stopped asking about it when he didn't mention it. She told herself international shipping was unreliable. In month 9, a friend asked to see a photo of him somewhere new, something that showed he was actually there. Kira searched her phone. Everything she had was from before he left. No unfamiliar backgrounds. No new city. His profile photo hadn't changed in over a year. She asked him to send her a photo. He did, a selfie with no distinctive background. Generic wall. Generic light. She told herself he wasn't the type to take photos. In month 14, his mother called Kira to ask how Ethan was doing. Kira said she thought he was doing well. His mother paused. Then she said, "That's strange. He hasn't called me since August." Kira mentioned it to Ethan that night. He said his mother had been difficult lately. He'd been keeping some distance. She told herself it was a family thing. The message came on a Tuesday in August. She didn't know the sender. But the photo was unmistakable. Ethan. Standing in front of a produce stand at a farmer's market 38 minutes from her apartment. With a woman she had never seen. Both of them holding coffee. Both of them relaxed in the particular way that people are relaxed when they are exactly where they belong. She looked at the photo. Then she looked at it again. She didn't call him. She didn't text. She placed her phone face down on the kitchen table and sat with it for 6 minutes. She'd tell you later she wasn't sure why she counted, she just knew she needed to count something. Then she opened her laptop. She searched the company he had named 18 months ago. The one where he claimed to be working. It was real. A legitimate tech firm. Offices in 3 countries. She found their archived job listings. She filtered back to December, the month he would have needed to apply if the timeline he told her was true. The role was there. 2-year contract. $94,000 salary. The exact position he had described to her, word for word. She pulled up his LinkedIn profile. No new employer. No overseas company. The last position listed was the same job he had held before he supposedly left. He had never applied. The job was real. The salary was real. The company was real. He had read the listing, told her every detail, and never sent a single application. $43,200. 18 transfers. Sent to a man who was 38 minutes away. She closed the laptop. She didn't call him that night. She didn't call him the next day. She opened a new folder on her desktop. And she was very, very good at building folders. She did not fall apart. What she did first was print everything. Every Venmo transaction. Every Cash App record. Both wire transfer confirmations. She printed the archived LinkedIn job listing, time-stamped. She printed his LinkedIn profile, also time-stamped. She printed the photo, the text message, the sender's contact information. She called a civil litigation attorney the next morning. She brought the folder. The attorney looked through it without speaking. Then she said, "This is unjust enrichment and financial fraud. You have documentation that most clients spend months trying to reconstruct. You have all of it." The thing she hadn't told anyone, the detail she'd been sitting with, was that for the last 4 months, something in her had been quietly logging inconsistencies. Not a decision, exactly. More like a reflex. The logistics coordinator in her had been running the math without being asked. She had already started a file. She just hadn't known what it was for yet. She filed a civil claim, unjust enrichment, financial fraud, breach of implied contract. He was served on a Wednesday. She did not contact him after that. He showed up to court without an attorney. His position was that the transfers had been voluntary, that she had offered to help, that there were no false pretenses, that the relationship was genuine. Her attorney placed the archived LinkedIn job listing on the table. Then his LinkedIn profile, printed and time-stamped. Then 18 months of transfer records, organized chronologically. Date. Amount. Running total. Then the photo from the farmer's market. The text message. The timestamp. The location. The judge reviewed the documents in silence. Then he said, "The transfers were solicited under an explicit and sustained false claim of employment and relocation. That is not ambiguous. That is fraud." The judgment, $43,200, plus legal fees. He had 60 days to pay. He liquidated a motorcycle, purchased the spring before he supposedly left. A camera setup. A gaming rig bought, according to the receipt, the same month he told her he was settling into an apartment overseas. All of it sold. All of it paid. During discovery, it was confirmed, he had never submitted an application to that company. Not a resume. Not a contact form. Nothing. He had seen the posting, memorized the details, and used them to build a fiction that cost her $43,200 and 18 months. The folder she built in those first quiet days after the photo arrived? It was Exhibit A. Documentation, it turned out, was the one thing he had no defense against. He spent 18 months pretending to be thousands of miles away. He was 38 minutes from everything he claimed to be building. The job was real. The salary was real. The opportunity existed. He just never applied. She got $43,200 back. plus legal fees. Plus the knowledge that the most valuable thing she had wasn't the documentation, it was the habit of keeping it. If her story hit close to home, subscribe. We share stories like this every week. And if you supported someone who wasn't where they said they were, you're not alone. Tell us in the comments.